You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back into Locked On Bama, AHSA Radio Network's Luke Robinson. That's me. Alabama internet legend Jimmy Stein. That's him. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. We'll talk about FanDuel in just a little bit. Want to thank you everydayers for being here every day. Thank you newbies for being here today. And thanks to everybody for making this first listen every single day. You guys are the best. Alabama kicked Tennessee's butt tonight, Jimmy. It was a thing to behold. There were some harrowing moments. There was a fantastic atmosphere. I thought Ty Simpson played well without playing his best. I thought Alabama figured out more about themselves today. I think that even though the Crimson Tide gave up 20 points and there were some reasons to maybe scratch your head occasionally on defense, the defense showed out. I thought some dudes stepped up. Of course, you can talk about Xavier Brown. You can talk about Yanzi Pierre. Tell me somebody who's going to be SEC Defensive Player of the Week besides him.
Well, there were great SEC games all over. Obviously, couldn't watch them all. I say this all the time about our guys who have a great case for it. All I know is Yanzi Pierre is deserving of SEC Player of the Week. Maybe Xavier Brown is deserving of SEC Defensive Player of the Week. I didn't see all the other games from beginning to end. There could be somebody out there that has a better case. I just know what's deserving. Yanzi Pierre's deserving. Xavier's deserving. But one thing about Yanzi, because I saw a couple of comments about this on social media. Look, when Yanzi took over the starting job at Wolf because Quay Russaw was hurt and lost for several weeks, we were just about to play Vanderbilt and Missouri. Those are running football teams that run a lot of option, that run the ball. Yanzi maybe wouldn't be very effective against them. Those were Quay Russaw type games. Quay would have been great against Vanderbilt, Missouri. We just didn't have him. But today was a Yanzi game. Why? Tennessee will throw the ball a lot from the pocket. That's when Yanzi will get after it. So, football is just like basketball. It's a game of matchups. This was a great matchup for Yanzi Pierre. We shouldn't be surprised that he had the best game of his career. His first start against a team that throws the ball a lot from the pocket. Voila, massive game for Yanzi. Couldn't be happier for him. Great matchup. And South Carolina, by the way, pretty good matchup for Yanzi. They throw it from the pocket quite a bit.
Well, they've got a Mike Shula offense. I like any of our defenders. I think all of our defenders should be feeling pretty good about a Mike Shula offense. Shout out to the fans. I feel like occasionally we can be not as into it as we probably should be. I think tonight I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the loudest moments I've heard in Bryant-Denny when Xavier Brown had that interception. I thought it was, in fact, Jimmy, what's so funny? So I was in a box and yeah, I mean, I should say my wife got invited to a box and I was with her, but I was sitting there and I told people, like, we were trying to figure out, okay, what's Tennessee doing here? They had a nice little drive going. And I said, they've got to throw it, but they don't want to throw it, like, even though it's really short, they don't want to throw it necessarily in the middle of the field. There's only 9 seconds and they got to be kind of careful. So I was like, I really think they're going to try something out to the side. I didn't know they would try play action. I'm like, what? All that did, it just doesn't work in that short of a distance. It just didn't seem like a great play. Xavier Brown read it beautifully. I don't know if I hadn't heard any comments yet if, like, during a timeout that any of our guys, any of our coaches said, hey, be on the lookout for this or whatever. But he just read it beautifully. I thought maybe Lawson had tipped it. He didn't. It was just a fantastic play. And then the little hezzy move to make sure that, I guess it was a wide receiver that was catching up to him, couldn't get to him, was pretty incredible. But going back to just the fans, what my point was, and sorry, y'all can blame the high noons if you want to. My point was that when he made that interception, like, everybody in our little area went nuts. And I'm thinking, okay, he's got a clear path. So I turned around, I'm high-fiving everybody like everybody's doing. And I'm screaming the whole time, just going, and I turned back around and I'm all out of eyes. I'm I'd already screamed all I could scream, and I was like, he's only at our 40. I was like, I don't know how anybody's still screaming. I'm out of breath. But anyway, it's a great moment.
The play was so huge. I just want to bring up, because I know that was, I think, the play of the season for Alabama so far. That was the play of the season. And this is why I know it feels like, well, Alabama won 37-20, wasn't close. We got to do Dixieland Delight twice. Has that ever happened before? That they do Dixieland Delight twice at the end? But feels like, boy, Alabama won that comfortably. Zabian's play was a 14-point swing.
Yeah.
That's a 14-point swing in a game Alabama won by 17 points. I mean, Tennessee outgained Alabama in this game. So I do think the score is a little bit misleading, and we'll talk about, Luke, we've done a good job talking about, hey, when you have a big win, let's, on the Saturday night reaction show, be about the big win, and then let's start doing the negative stuff, Sunday and Monday, because there are some negatives here. Like I say, you get outgained. Zabian's play was a 14-point swing in a game you only won by 17 points. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't awesome. But you know what it was? The fourth win in a row against a ranked football team. And good luck to anyone out there that tries that. First of all, they won't get the opportunity because they don't play a schedule like Alabama plays. And secondly, I don't know that anyone else can do it. I'm just being honest. I don't know that anyone else playing college football in 2025 is going to have the ability to beat 4 ranked teams in a row. It's a huge shout out. Saban never did it. Now, again, lacked some opportunity. Saban did win 4 in a row one time, but there was an off week, a bye week, within it, which is a little different from having to do it literally 4 weeks in a row. But shout out to Kalen, DeBoer, his staff, the players, to bounce back from a loss that looks more and more embarrassing all the time. But still, 4 ranked wins in a row. I don't know that Ohio State's number 1. I would like to see them try it.
Totally agree. I'm also going to say, as bad as is Florida State winning tonight? They're playing Stanford.
They're losing 13-10 to Stanford.
God have mercy. Okay. That is embarrassing, but that's only embarrassing for Florida State. Like, to me, it's sort of like when you're at Alabama and you first get there, like, you're going to hook up with a few threes. But by the time you're a senior, you're gonna start dating about an 8.5. But you can see she's gonna be a 9.5 when she gets a little older and her stuff gets together. Like, she's gonna be something. And that's who you marry. You don't marry the threes.
Keep in mind, we're the threes.
I understand that, and that's why I'm telling people, don't marry us anymore.
The threes.
I understand that totally. It's 20-10 Stanford now. I got to give a quick shout out. All right, to Josh and Tanner, you know who you are, and Kevin and Tom and Katie, and also Chuck from North Carolina. He stopped me and he just said, "Hey, I'm Chuck from North Carolina. Came down, listen to you all the time." And I said, "What's your name?" It's Chuck from North Carolina. So Chuck from North Carolina, I'm telling you. Appreciate all you guys. I mean, there were some other people that I talked to that I didn't. John Doman said Luke hooked up with threes. If I was lucky when I was a freshman.
You were punching up.
This is not a Rolex. Somebody said Luke's trying to show. This is a watch that was given to my dad that he didn't want. And so I took it because I thought I looked naked without. I mean, I had this polo on. By the way, people did love my polo. It's just a regular old polo from the shirt shop. Go get you one. So
my watch is pretty expensive too. It's an iPhone.
This is a Movada. I don't even know if that's a good brand. I just think it's kind of shiny. So I think it looks all right. One quick thing I want to say before I forget it. Okay. This really, swear to God, happened tonight. So we're leaving. Like I said, we were in the box. We're at the service first box. And so we're leaving and we're getting on the elevator. And then we go down, you leave in the elevator and it goes down just a floor at a time, whatever. So somebody says, Luke, give me a shout out so I can live with a good life. That is Gabe McCullers. What a great American you are. So we're going down, and then some of our friends, and this really, pretty attractive blonde lady gets on with them, right? And I'm like, she looks familiar, but we're just all roll tide and high-fiving to some friends or whatever. And so then we all walk out to the stadium together. We're behind the stadium. We're walking down between the stadium and the cemetery, and she starts recording. And so I sort of get in the record. I'm going to be cool. I'm like getting in the recording, and she goes, "Yeah, this is my bodyguard now." And I was like, "You don't want me to be your bodyguard." She goes, "Well, you're big. You're like 6'7". I go, "Well, I'm 53. I've been shrinking. I'm going to be 6'2" before you know it." And we were just laughing. And then she sort of walks on, and my friend who was with her said, Do you know who that was? And I said, "No." She goes, "That's Laura Ingraham of the Ingraham angle, or the Ingraham angle, or whatever that thing is on Fox." The Fox News woman was there with them, and I jumped in a video looking like a jackass. So I'm probably going to be on the Ingraham angle, looking like a total jackass who's been drinking black cherry high noons for most of the day. All true, but I don't want to be on Fox News like that.
Yeah, this is reminding me of the Florida State loss.
Yes, that is true. That's a good point. I just screwed this. I mean, it's one of those things where I just think sometimes I think I do things like when I try to fit in like normal people, it's when I always run into, like, I'm like normal people try and jump in and get, what do you call it? You photobomb them, right? And I was trying to photobomb, and I didn't know it was Laura freaking Ingraham. I don't know if you say Laura Ingram or Laura Ingraham. I've never been clear on that. One thing I am clear on is that we got to get to a sponsor. And our first sponsor of the day. Hey, why isn't my stuff working here? Guess our first sponsor will be Rougiette. Anyway, no, our first sponsor will be DoorDash. DoorDash is awesome. I had all their stuff written down here, and now it's gone. I can't get it. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter because DoorDash
is a dang good idea about right now.
Oh, let me tell y'all, if y'all are up listening to us at 12:08 God's time, DoorDash is the way to rock. It's almost the weekend. In fact, it's the middle of the weekend. Time to look back and crown this week's MVP on who delivered. How about Yanzi Pierre? Yes, he did. Powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streak, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered the most. Let's break it down. For Alabama, Yanzi Pierre delivered in a big way. He had a safety, had 2 sacks. He made a huge tackle on a tight end that would have been a big play if he doesn't come back to it. He was just awesome. Yanzi Pierre was everywhere today. He was everything we wanted him to be and then some. So, and just like Yanzi Pierre delivered for Alabama, DoorDash delivers for your Saturday. And with DoorDash Streaks, you say every Saturday you order, stack it all up, and you could win up to 250 smacks, including $100 in DoorDash credit. Order this Saturday, keep Streak live, fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply, promo code through November 18th. Now, the next one I want to talk about, who is a Supply House? Yeah, of course it's Supply House. I love Supply House. They got everything you want. They got everything you want. Don't ask. If they have it, they got it. When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. The Part Finder tools and 3D schematics can save you hours on jobs where every detail matters. Join the free Trade Master program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free. Use promo code SH College 5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people and real service there with Supply House. Now I can't find any of my stuff anymore, Jimmy. Now here it is. Okay, there we go. I got it. I really am missing some stuff here though, and I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Okay. Why don't you went to the game though, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't have to drive from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham, so you've probably looked at some more statistics than I have. So bring up something that I didn't talk about yet.
Really disappointing, run game effort from Alabama. I tweeted this out with about 11 minutes left in the game. At one point, Alabama's running back group had 18 yards rushing on 15 carries with 11 minutes left in the game. Now, I do think Daniel Hill sort of rescued those numbers a bit late. But hey, that's going to continue to be an EBC yield. 230 for Central for South Carolina next week. But Alabama's run game still an issue, but they threw it great. Hey, special shout outs to the guys who stood out to me. Josh Cuevas stood out to me. Ryan Williams was great. Not only were there no drops, they were all great catches. Jeremy Bernard continued to make plays even when they weren't there. Alabama's go-to guy. Special shout out. How about Michael Carroll making his first start at right tackle? Dijon Lee making his first start at cornerback. Now they subbed out and Damani played.
Did Michael Carroll? I'm just trying to stop you. It seemed to me Michael Carroll had a tough time getting going. Yeah. Because when I saw the pressure Tennessee was getting on the Jumbotron, it felt like they were getting a lot of it from Michael Carroll's area. Now, is that right or wrong?
Well, I agree with it's apparent Michael Carroll started the game, and they obviously want to go with Carroll, but Formby played a lot. Even at cornerback, I thought Dijon Lee gets his first start, and that's great. I thought Dijon had a couple of bad plays mixed in there, and then we saw Damani a lot. Then Damani wasn't great late with a couple of pass interference penalties, keeping Tennessee alive kind of late. But, I think Dijon Lee and Michael Carroll reminded everyone super talented, but still true freshmen playing in game 7 of their collegiate career. So it's going to be a little rough. It's not just an answer to issues that some think we have. It's just kind of trading one problem for another problem. But obviously the career arc is going to be spectacular for both of those guys. And I like that they got their first starts. And that's exciting. But Ryan was great. Jeremy was great. Josh Cuevas was great. Ty Simpson, really good. I wouldn't go great, but I'd say really good for Ty Simpson. Defensively, LT Overton, I thought was good. Keon Keeley getting more and more snaps.
James Smith.
Good. Looking good.
Did anybody else think he was a little when he got the roughing the passer call, or I guess personal foul or whatever? It was a hair late, but he was running. And it's just, come on. You can't throw a flag every time like that.
I think Yanze Pierre, of course, played the game of his career, with the 3 sacks. But again, he finally had a good matchup for him. Bray Hubbard, I thought, played well. Zabian, contender for SEC Player of the Week. Tennessee's receivers are fantastic. Brazel and Matthews, they're really good. And I know Zabian, when he picked off that ball, I believe it was a pass intended for former Alabama tight end Miles Kisselman. And Zabian just made a great read there. But Zabian hooked up all night. Every snap, Zabian's covering either Chris Brazel, Staley, or Mike Matthews on every snap and held it together. So great job by Zabian, especially on that side of the field. How about this shout out? Who would have thought this was coming? I thought Deshaun Jones struggled a little bit early. They take him out and put in his backup, Red Morgan, not one of the.
I wish you hadn't said it so I could remind you of it.
Red Morgan stepped up. I thought Red Morgan was really sharp. Now, it wasn't perfect, but I thought Red Morgan bought the defensive spark coming in for Deshaun, who had struggled just a little bit.
First of all, I'm glad you brought up Red Morgan. I thought he played really well. Red Morgan is not going to be an all-SEC player. That's okay. That is totally okay. He can be a very good player for the University of Alabama without being an All-American. And I think some people are beginning to figure out their role. And let me tell you what I love about Ryan tonight. Ryan did have a big game. And while he had some spectacular moments, like it seemed like all of his catches were unnecessarily difficult, mostly because of Ty's throws. They weren't. One throw was fantastic, and it was just like, that's the only place you can put it, but he has to make a great catch, the over his shoulder one. That was awesome. But some other ones, like there was one that was kind of low. There was one that he had to keep it, that he barely caught, that he had to pin against his helmet, things like that. Here's what I love about it for Ryan, because it seemed like Ryan had been on an up and down schedule of, he's going to have some incredible, spectacular plays, and you're going to be like, oh, that's that dude. And then the next game, he's just not going to do anything. You're like, what the hell's wrong with Ryan? This was a game where you're like, he was really good, and he was an important piece of our winning, but he wasn't the key component. Like, we can't stop talking about him against Georgia last year, right? But because that was so special and different. but this game, he was important, really important, but he wasn't the key piece.
Well, he's dependable. Dependable.
Yeah.
Great. Dependable. Somebody you could go to. I think he kind of reminded people how important he is to the football team. And coming off a time when he wasn't practicing a lot because of the leg issue. Interesting question here from Jacob. I want to know Jimmy's thoughts on how hard Ty throws the ball no matter the distance. Okay, this is my opinion on this. And yes, I have noticed that. I think as Ty gets a little anxious, there's some anxiety with him. And I think that's what we saw week 1. I think when Ty is suffering a little anxiety, he becomes more of a thrower and less of a pitcher. To me in baseball parlance, a thrower is somebody that can throw the ball 99 miles an hour, and that's why it gets a lot of attention from the scouts. But pitchers get major league hitters out, and you have to be a pitcher to be an NFL quarterback because you have to make all the throws. I think when Ty gets a little stressed and there's too much anxiety, it's all fastballs. It's all fastballs. I think it's about just learning, and I believe he's improving here. I think it's learning to just notch it down a little bit, be a pitcher, not a thrower.
Dabbler, who I believe uses Sean Connery from Saturday Night Live as his avatar.
That's hilarious.
That's so good. Please discuss DeBoer's weird strategy of calling timeouts before the half while the opponent is on your end of the field. I think that's idiotic on first down, at the least arrogant. Okay.
I get what you're saying.
I think that you're right. I don't think Gene Stallings would do it. But here's the thing. I think that DeBoer is looking at it like, yeah, we're going to get the ball back and we're going to try and score again.
I want the ball. That's why he's doing it. DeBoer wants the ball back. Yeah. I'm with Dabbler. Like, well, let's not help them score. 100%. Let's not help them score. So I get what Dabbler's saying. But why does DeBoer do this? He wants the ball back. Maybe he's an offensive guy.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think it's sort of like getting used to the new college football playoff. There's just some things in college football we got to get used to now. Like people are, defense still wins championships, but offense is a pretty big deal. Luke and Jimmy, maybe this has been discussed, but what are your thoughts on the defense holding Tennessee to a season low in scoring? I think it's awesome, and I think it is. Kane Womack, hey, my hat is off to you, sir. There have been times when I've been incredibly frustrated by you, but you know what? Your team is coming on. And I thought the offense put you in a bad position. Here's the thing that nobody was talking about, and maybe this is the pessimist in me. After Zabian Brown's pick 6, and, we go to halftime, like midway through halftime, everybody was like, we get the ball back. And I was like, yeah, and it's going to be really important that we do something with it, because if we don't, it's going to give all that momentum right back to Tennessee. And what do? We go 3 and out, and they come down and score. And I'm like, all of a sudden, you're sort of like, you're hand wringing,
Ball game, yeah. I think, I think most of Alabama's wins this season, and now there's 6 of them, the offense and the defense together have both been good. It's like a team win, offense good, defense good, special teams good, everything contributing to the win. I think the defense in particular was the reason for this win, and I think MC St. Pete proving that out. Look, Tennessee was the highest scoring team in the league.
Yeah.
They were the most productive offense in the league, and the defense gave Alabama a chance to win the game. I always think, if anything, if I'm going to be disappointed in a unit, it's with the offense a little bit. I thought the offense will be a little more explosive against Tennessee. Now, they're still good. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying they were bad or not good enough. It was good enough. But a special shout out to the defense for that. That is the best offense in this league in terms of scoring and production. It's because they're balanced. They can throw it and run it. They did a good job against Tennessee's run. Obviously, they had an explosive or two in the run game that skewed the numbers. But overall, they did a really good job against one of the better rushing attacks in the league. And they intercepted Aguilar. I said before the game, Alabama would win 35-28, and the difference would be Alabama's going to pick Aguilar off and Ty Simpson's not going to throw interceptions. That proved to be very much the case, but Alabama didn't win 35-28. They won by 17 points. So shout out to the defense for holding Tennessee. And, hey, even at the end, when Tennessee's trying to score a garbage touchdown, they showed some hey, not against us. And I think it was LT Overton that made the play on the goal line that kept Tennessee from scoring again late. So shout out to those guys for having some pride and wanting to keep Tennessee right where they were at 20 points.
Yeah, and that means something. And we're going to address this when we come back. But MC St. Pete, he says, also, is it just me or does Ty Simpson take the play clock down dangerously low on a consistent basis?
For that.
Oh, my God. No, it's not just you. It's 100% not just you. And it is it's frustrating, but I think we're just going to have to learn to deal with it, because I think what happens is we get out there, see something, and a lot of times, how many times do we put Jam way out there on the far end of the field, and then we're like, come on back, and he comes back up and lines up? Well, I mean, if Jam were Pierre Good and ran full speed, it still takes a few seconds to do that. And then you got the defense adjusting, then Ty's trying to figure out what to do. And before you know it, you got 3 seconds on the play clock.
A tremendous advantage Alabama has. This is a tremendous advantage. I know that looks like a disadvantage, what MC St. Pete just brought up there. I see it as a tremendous advantage for Alabama. Ty, because of all that he brings with him, dad's a coach, dad's a quarterback coach. He's been here for 4 years. He's a mature guy. Ty gets to hear Grubb talking in his ear until the 15-second mark on the play clock, and then it clicks off. That's where most every quarterback in the league, it goes silent for them and they run the play, the last thing they hear. Ty has quite a bit of authority up there, looks to me, to change things inside of that 15 seconds. They trust him to change it. If he sees a look, he hears the play, sees a look, he'll change it all the way to the last second, because Ty is probably the best suited guy in the whole league to do this. I think we run that clock down because Ty oftentimes is trying to change it. Now, once or twice a game, Ty will take too long. We got to burn a timeout. He did that tonight. He was trying to change a play too late, but it's because Ty's trying to change a play late. And that's an advantage for Alabama, that we got a guy you trust to do that, because the helmet mic is off at that point.
All right, we're going to do this together, y'all. Love me some Rougiette Ready. What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiette Go Long, and it's about the shank of the evening where some of y'all might be knowing what I'm talking about. Look, that's exactly where Rougiette's Go Long comes in, is right like tonight. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula so you can get hard and go the distance. You dang right I'm going to put some emphasis on this. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to Rougiette, that's RUGIET.com, and use promo code LOCKEDONCollege for 15% off your first order. That's Rougiette.com, promo code LOCKEDONCollege. Make sure you use our code so they know that we sent you there. Rougiette Ready. You want to be that. We want you to be that. FanDuel. Love me some FanDuel. The NFL season is here. It's going to be going on tomorrow early because there's the Rams against somebody tomorrow. And right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down 5 smacks, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Yep. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. You don't want to be a sucker. You want to do this right. Go to FanDuel and make it happen, Captain.
So let's get this right. It's a bald eagle on top of a gorilla.
Yeah,
on top of a T-Rex.
Yeah, and I don't know how that is supposed to. I mean, I don't know.
It's up. Heck of a movie.
It does sound like one heck of a movie.
What was that? Jumanji? I never saw it, to be honest. Jumanji.
I didn't either.
Jumanji. Okay.
Jumanji. Yeah. There's a great Saturday Night Live skit where Kristen Wiig is like, or Wiig or whatever you say.
Kristen Wiig.
Everybody's like, well, do you want to play this? And she goes, nope, don't want to play any board games because I don't want to get Jumanji'd. And they're like, what do you mean? And she, I don't want to get sucked into the game and get in trouble and not be able to get out. Anyway. So, Jimmy, let's talk about some. Somebody said, Pierre Good, let me pass my Metamucil to Luke and Jimmy. Look here. we're not saying we're not old. I just told you. I told Laura Ingraham I'm old. Anywho, listen. I want to gather my thoughts for more Alabama stuff tomorrow. Okay, but I do want to sit here and say, like, this is how old I am. I was in a skybox watching Alabama play, and I had to hate watch Auburn on my phone at the same time. I had to hate watch it. Everybody's like, how are you watching both these games? I was like, because I have to. They don't understand. So anyway, Auburn did lose tonight in overtime, double overtime against Missouri. And
we want to go on record. Is Hugh going to get fired tomorrow or today?
Today, at this point, I have no idea how you don't fire him. It is over. It is so over that everybody knows it's over. And I listened to a little bit of our coach's thing afterwards, and then I listened to some of his coaching thing, right? And he was like, I think it was Ronnie Brown maybe who asked him, like, hey coach, you said you're just a little few players here and there from being in the top league. We should be in the playoff discussion. What's going on? And he said something like, all I know for sure is those kids are laying their guts on the line, and God led me here, and I'm supposed to walk faithfully in the blah 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 blah. And he said, I know everybody hates to hear it, but we're close. And I'm like, man, you can't keep saying that to people. I've heard it. I've as an Alabama fan, I've heard some of my coaches say it, and I'm like, eventually you go, quit being close. Either you can or you can't, and he can't.
I think it's more easy to see, from our vantage point than maybe some Auburn people who are more emotionally tied into it. But the way I look at it is, if you're an Auburn fan, you have to be asking yourself, do I envision this staff and what's going on in Auburn right now? That are we a few weeks away? Are we a year away? Is this going to be better next year? I don't know who would believe in that the program is ascending.
That's a great way to put it.
Feels more like descending. And that's why I think that they've reached a point where they probably need to make a change if they can afford it. Let's remember this. And I know that all these programs are changing coaches. I'm shocked by all of it because they're having to spend 22% of athletic department money paying the players, and there's all these expensive firings going on. Makes you think the whole time, these universities, these athletic departments have more money than we were led to believe that they can.
100%.
Because
now, I love how you were so shocked you even had to grab your pearls. You went, I'm shocked. That is. Yeah. Anywho, okay, so Auburn lost, which I enjoyed. Texas A&M, Arkansas. I don't know what to say about Arkansas. Arkansas is just completely snake bit, and I don't know what they're going to do. But I'm going to say this: they're playing a lot better. And next week they play Auburn at home, and I don't know if Auburn can keep up with them offensively. I think Auburn's defense can do some good things against them, but Arkansas is going to score.
I don't like Bobby Petrino, and I think it's sort of disgraceful that he got fired and the way he's fired, and now he's back in the same job where he got fired for cause, and now he's back.
It is weird.
I say all that to say this. They should probably hire Bobby Petrino. He's probably the right move for them.
If you're going to have him as an interim, I think you can have him as a full-time. And, I mean, he reminds me, what is that old Chinese proverb? If you sit by the river patiently long enough, you will see the bodies of your enemy floating by. Bobby Petrino is like, if I sit by the river patiently on my moped, eventually Arkansas will swim right by me and put me on their raft again.
The fact of the matter is, I think the power brokers at Arkansas very reluctantly let him go in 2010. And now he's the guy they know. That's the thing about the power brokers. They like the guys they know that they have a relationship with. And all Petrino needs to show is that he can make Arkansas competitive with his coaching, with what he inherited. And I think he's already doing that.
Bosa Nova dude says, are we going to give DeBoer any credit? You dang right we are. We've been saying this was great. DeBoer did great. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. I think he was awesome.
For those not at the stadium, a new DeBoer, he comes out of the tunnel, he whacked the goalpost. Ty made a really bad decision at one point in the game.
He got off in his – it was, I know what it was. It was when he threw it too hard to Cuevas.
Yeah.
And he was that far from him.
DeBoer practically ran on the field. I thought he was going to slap Ty around. I mean, it
And
was
Ty even like said, "Hey, I was trying to do something else," and you could see DeBoer be like, "I don't care. Don't do that."
Yeah, he was almost like, Coach Saban, calm down.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me. So I would say this new Kalen that seems to be a little more intense. I think the fans like it, but the kids seem to be feeding off this new Kalen DeBoer. I'm giving DeBoer all the credit in the world. Again, 4 wins in a row against ranked opponents. I'm not sure anybody can do that in the country other than Alabama and Kalen DeBoer right now. And of course, Kalen DeBoer gets all the credit, just like he should get a lot of the blame for week 1. He should get a lot of the blame for last year. He should also get the credit for the good things last year, and obviously the 6-1 start. So yeah, all the credit to DeBoer. I think he's handling this really well.
Hang with us. We're going to give DeBoer his flowers. Don't worry. We'll be back tomorrow. I mean, right now, I've been drinking kind of. Jimmy's been drinking kind of. It's late night. I just got in from Tuscaloosa, so just bear with us. It's all a hodgepodge right
Be right back about 8 hours from right now.
LSU Vandy. I tried to tell people. I tried to tell Vandy's no joke. Vandy ain't screwing around. They got dudes.
Apologies to Vanderbilt on my end. They're a better football team than LSU. And
It ain't particularly close.
I don't mean that as an insult to LSU. I'm just as an observation about who's good. Vanderbilt is a better football team than LSU. I'm not sure if that game was in Baton Rouge, it would come out any different. Vanderbilt's just a good football team, and it's more than Diego Pavia. But, you know, I don't care for the kid personally, but he is one heck of a college football quarterback, and he lifts the team up, and that's hard to do. And give him credit.
Even if you are a jerk, if you can rally a team behind you, there's got to be some kind of positive attribute to you. Like, they follow him. Vandy follows him.
They do.
Now, okay, then Georgia and Ole Miss. How in the world Ole Miss scored 17 points and Georgia scored 17 points and Ole Miss none in the fourth quarter is baffling to me. But I thought
both quarters and lose the fourth, that means nothing, right?
Huh?
Ole Miss won the first 3 quarters. Does that matter? No.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
I think that I can honestly see that I believe both those teams are playoff quality teams. Now, it does make next week very interesting. You got Ole Miss and Oklahoma. That is not a loser leave town match, but it is a losers in a lot of trouble playoff wise match.
Which is hard to imagine because both teams to this point look like playoff teams. Someone is going to be in a little bit of hot water right now. Today, this moment, I like Oklahoma to win at home.
I'm with you on that. I guess this moment, except Mateer only had like 150 yards.
He hasn't been the same since the thumb.
Yeah. And then LSU welcomes in Texas A&M.
Megan Fox thumb. You know the Megan Fox? She's got the she's otherwise, all right. But
she got a big toe for a thumb or something?
Yeah, she's got like a thumb thing. And I think Mateer's got her thumb.
She got hammer thumb?
I don't know what they call it, but she's got a thumb thing.
So next week also, Texas A&M travels to LSU. And again, it's much more important for LSU than it is Texas A&M. If LSU loses it, they're done. There's no hope. You ain't getting in the playoffs. I don't give a damn because Clemson sucks now.
This will be my pick that everybody mocks me all week. I like LSU to beat A&M at home, and I know that sounds crazy based on what we saw today, but I'm going to pick LSU to win at home.
I'm not going to pick it yet, but I don't see myself getting there because
I'll be mocked for that, but that's how I feel.
I feel like the whole Brian Kelly thing just isn't going to work out. I mean, I'm fine with it if it does, but I kind of don't want it to because I think LSU will come in just tail tucked between his legs if that happens to Alabama after the off week. All right, look, let's go ahead and call it a night. It's 1:30. It's 12:35. God's time. I never stay up this late. This is usually the first or second time I get up to TT, so y'all just bear with me. But we will be back tomorrow, and what a great game. I hope everybody had a fantastic time and got to smoke a cigar, and we appreciate every single one of y'all chiming in with us tonight. Even if you don't like what we said, we appreciate you very much. So me and my Movado watch are going to go to bed. Jimmy, I hope you do the same. We will talk first thing in the morning. And until then, roll tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.